Right, so prepare to have your blood boiled and your day ruined because we're back with some more mother-in-laws from hell. Alright, first up we got a clip from Bramty. Mother-in-law ruins my birth experience.
Another reason why, like, just little things happened that why I really didn't like your mom back then. I was giving birth to Penelope and I let his mom be in the room to watch me give birth, which that was also a huge issue. I was like, I don't want your mom in the room. Like, I only want you and
she didn't get along with my mom at that time.
I was like, I only want you and my mom in the room. Like, you're my husband and my mom, like, for emotional support. And he's like, I want my mom in the room. I'm like, no, it's not about you.
That is crazy. When your wife's the one giving birth, like, realistically, as much as you're half the parent, that day's like all about her. I mean, she's the one that's got to be butt naked in front of her, front butt naked in front of everybody. Wanting someone who's not your partner and also not a family member is very valid. And the fact that she wasn't even getting on with his mother at the time just makes it so much more valid. I mean, I can't lie, I didn't even realize parents being in the room at the time was a thing. Probably because I haven't given birth yet.
He didn't really understand, like, when you give birth, it's about the wife. Like, it's about the mom. She's the one giving birth. She's the one going through things physically, mentally. Like,
whatever she's comfortable with is the most important
what
thing.
you have to support, and that wasn't the case. At the moment, like,
wise bro said that, like, what makes you comfortable is what's most important to me, except from when you're uncomfortable with my mum being there, and I'm gonna fight her corner instead.
I go to the hospital and my first time giving birth, I'm 19 years old, I'm having contractions. I remember having contractions and I was like, I'm gonna do a birth without epidural. So I tried to push it through as long as I could, and at the time I was just so focused on, like, my contractions that literally we had my mom, your mom, your brother, and your aunt, who I never fucking spoke to in my whole fucking life.
I was saying it's crazy having someone that's not your partner there, and even your own family. Like, I guess it depends. They don't have to stare it in the eye as the baby comes out. But I mean, at least his mum would have gone through it. She would have seen those parts plenty of times. It's not a family member or a partner, but it's a woman. So I can kind of get being like, oh, okay, fine, like, I'll allow it. But the wife's partner's brother, what the hell is he doing in there?
Watch my birth.
Because it's Cuban people. They just want to be, like, involved and they think everything's, like, just fine. Nothing's taboo. Everything's fine. I can see your vagina.
She would have had my back then. Like,
that's crazy. It's not taboo to us. I feel like it's not really your decision to make for someone to be like, I don't want you guys seeing me naked, and them just being like, oh no, don't worry, it's part of our culture. This is not taboo to us. It's like, it is to me. I don't want you seeing my taboo. And you can be very involved on the day and with the birth and stuff without seeing it.
Like, you're about to give birth, everybody out, only what my wife wants. But you didn't have that mentality and you just had your mom's back most of the time. So I remember I just wasn't even involved with, like, who was in the room. I remember pushing, and I remember your mom and your aunt taking pictures of my vagina while I am pushing, then to later find out that your aunt had sent those pictures to family members.
Oh my god, that is an absolute nightmare. This just gets so much worse. I mean, everything I was saying earlier on about you don't want people to see, let alone take photos and send it to strangers. That is mental. And it's already started exactly like the last one did. Weak-willed men. How is he sitting there with his wife being like, this is what I want whilst I'm giving birth? And he's like, no, you know what? I'm backing my mum up here. I mean, at that point, you're giving birth to his baby, so maybe it's too late to be like, right, well, I'm leaving for this, but that's got to be such an ick. And I feel like ick is a really weak word for it. How is he not in her corner? That is so crazy. I mean, that was just a podcast clip, but I hope he goes on to be like, by the way, guys, like, I did realize that I made the complete wrong decision. I was fighting the wrong corner. I should have been with her. I apologize and all that kind of stuff. Because, I mean, I don't know how long ago this was, but she still seems absolutely fuming at him for that. And quite rightly. And not even just the mother-in-law, the brother-in-law and aunt-in-law as well. That is just wild. All right, next up, we've got a TikTok, POV, mother-in-law trying to ruin the moment. And it's a gender reveal video. All right, let's go. Bro's running away from her. Why is the original audio? Why has this got a funny laugh soundtrack? Oh my god, I thought she was getting really angry and throwing them away because she was fuming. She's getting rid of the boy because it's a girl. That's nice. We finally have a husband giving his wife all the attention before the mother-in-law steals it. I wonder if he knew it was coming because he can't quite see her. Bro's just running laps so that the mother-in-law doesn't catch up. Yeah, this is a nice upgrade because last time the mother-in-law got in between them and jumped on the husband. And he didn't really do anything. This is exactly what you should be doing. Although I'm curious what would have happened if the mother-in-law had caught up, whether it would have just been like a quick hug on both of them, like round the back and then let them go on their way, or whether she was trying to get in there before the wife and make it all about her. I feel like I don't want to judge too harshly in case she was just really excited and just wanted to get a little bit involved and wasn't trying to steal the show or steal all of his attention off his wife or girlfriend or whatever the baby mama is. Oh, and we got a slow motion replay. That wasn't too bad. Mostly because he did the right thing and just focused all on his wife. I I mean, it's not her moment, but it's hard to say how much she was trying to steal it. W man though at last. Alright, next up. My mother-in-law interrupted our wedding vows and yelled at my husband at our wedding. That is wild. Hi folks, first time poster, so please be kind. I'm struggling with the fallout from my new mother-in-law's behaviour at our wedding. I could post an essay about her behaviour since then, but I've decided to keep it to the behaviour surrounding the wedding for now. I am massively concerned about the effect it has / could have on my relationship with my husband, and feel the need to seek advice from others in similar situations. Names and locations have been omitted to protect the innocent. So my husband and I met in graduate school and we were instantly connected. He had moved here from a surrounding state and I'd lived here my whole life. We dated for 6 years before we got married, and his mother was never really an issue. His parents would come and visit once in a while, and we would go visit them. There were some red flags with his mother in terms of her drinking, but honestly I never gave it a second thought at the time. Once we got engaged though, everything changed. His mother suddenly became incredibly needy and manipulative, even though they didn't live in the same state. Everything comes with a side of guilt. Her side of the family started causing issues because we were not inviting children to our wedding. In our defense, it was a black tie evening wedding and we simply didn't feel it was appropriate for children. Let me be clear that we love children, we just decided to not invite them to our wedding. However, my mother-in-law took it upon herself to confront me on this without her son's knowledge and to try to coerce me into allowing her side of the family to bring their children, even though I'd made it clear to her in a kind way that no children were being invited on both sides. She and her family continued to push the issue to the point where my husband and I offered to pay for a babysitter for the children so that the parents could attend. This, however, was rejected, and some members of her family opted to not attend our wedding because the children weren't invited, which was hurtful and, in my opinion, a little ridiculous. It was the source of a lot of drama leading up to the wedding. Throughout the planning process, I attempted to include my mother from afar, sending her pictures and updates so that she would feel included because she doesn't have a daughter and always wanted one. The week before the wedding, I sent her a bouquet of white flowers to make her feel special. That's so sweet. Then, however, came the wedding weekend. We had our rehearsal dinner and then opened it up to all of our guests to come for welcome drinks. It was all very elegant and going well until my mother-in-law's side of the family showed up. All of the women showed up wearing white, which is a big no where I come from, me too, in protest to us not allowing children at the wedding. I mean, having grievances is one thing, but ruining the wedding for it, doing a white protest, that's crazy. This was pointed out to me by our friends from graduate school, and frankly, it was humiliating and petty. I said my hellos and could tell some of them felt bad, and then went back to the hotel to get my beauty rest ahead of the big day. On the day of the wedding, things were going well. I was in a suite with my family and friends getting ready, and my husband was in a separate suite with his family and his friends getting ready also. All was good. The ceremony started, and when it was my turn to walk down the aisle, I couldn't have been more excited. We had lost 3 grandparents between us in the 2 years leading up to our wedding, and we decided to honour them by acknowledging them at the start of our wedding ceremony. Once they were mentioned, my mother-in-law got up out of her seat, approached us at the altar, and interrupted our wedding to say that an aunt who had passed away wasn't mentioned. Wow, that is insane main character energy. And my husband immediately told her to sit down. Thank goodness, again, a husband with spine. But the damage was done, and guests thought she was objecting to our marriage. It was mortifying. My husband is pretty sure she was mixing alcohol with her medications, oh dear, but she claims that wasn't the case. When I had my first dance with my father, she got up, turned her back to us, and proceeded to walk around the tables her family was seated at. This is bad vibes from start to finish. This sucks. I mean, it would have been bad enough with her getting up and interrupting the wedding, but all of this petty stuff from start to finish. What a wedding ruiner, that's so annoying. Again, this is where the husband needs to stand up and just be like, Mum, you are ruining this. Like, maybe if you keep this up, you are not going to be welcome here all night. My husband and my mother-in-law had discussed what song they would dance to for their first dance months in advance of the wedding, and he ultimately selected the song she wanted. However, right before it was their turn to dance, she angrily accused him of lying to her and choosing a different song. My husband has the text messages from her requesting the song that he selected, so this was completely untrue. Thank goodness he had the evidence. She often lies to get what she wants, which has continued since the wedding. It got to the point where he had to say, Mum, why are you ruining my wedding to her whilst they were dancing? We had to edit her behaviour throughout the night from our wedding video. This woman has had such a negative impact on us in other ways as well, which is a post for another time, and I'm wondering if there's a way to get past the way she treated us at our wedding. I mean, with the other stuff she can apologise and change her behaviour, but hopefully this is the only time they're going to get married. And she's ruined that. Like, she's not going to get another chance to do better, and they're not going to have another chance to have a wedding without her ruining it. I feel like that's going to take a lot for them to get over. And it's probably going to require repentance from the mother-in-law that she's just not going to be willing to give. I feel like they need a serious sit down, and maybe they can improve things for future, but whether they'll ever be able to get over that, I really don't know. Honestly, have the videographer make a highlight reel of all her stupid stunts and send it to people who think you're being too hard on her. Damn, that is a good idea. Hopefully her husband is really on board with this as well, because that's going to make so much difference. Alright, next up we got a video. Outrageous moment a mother-in-law interrupts the bride's personalized vows. Damn, this could be worse than the story we just read.
I can't wait for everyone. I love you.
You're not going to say my son has flaws.
You can leave.
Perfect. No, I don't have to leave. That dress you're wearing, we paid for.
Let's calm down.
Oh my goodness, instant escalation. When she said you don't have to say my son has flaws, I thought she was joking. Evidently other people did too, because there was a bit of a giggle. Like, slightly weird time for a joke, but I get it. Like, the vows are finished, like you're making a joke. Sometimes you make jokes that are the wrong time, wrong place. But the wife evidently clocked on immediately that this is not a joke. She actually is mad, and she told her to leave.
You can leave.
And now they're beefing. Wow, there definitely will have been beef beforehand, won't there? We're only 15 seconds in though, then it's just escalated. Where the hell is this going?
You're not going to ruin my
You
day.
are not going to say my son has flaws.
Wow.
Everybody has flaws, and that's why I love them. You can leave,
Yeah.
Judy.
Like you don't have flaws.
You can get out of my wedding now.
I'm not leaving.
Why is the husband not saying anything? Why is he not turning around and being like, Mum, don't worry, like, you don't need to defend me right now. I like those vows. Like, that was very sweet. You don't have to get angry on my behalf. And this is my day and her day. Like, this has got nothing to do with you. If you don't like what she said, you're welcome to say it after. I can stand up for myself if it's really bad. But standing up and yelling at this point is inappropriate. Why is he letting the wife do all of this?
That dress you're wearing, I paid for. I'm not getting out. Try it, and I'll have you arrested.
Tony, get her out of here. This is not right.
This is not.
Let's respect the wedding.
I'm not leaving.
Why is he just standing there? This is so pathetic.
Just hold your
You
peace.
show respect. You left your daughter as
Let's
well.
just calm down. Let's say, hey, we don't need this.
This is fine.
We don't need this.
I don't want to hear any flaws about my
All
son.
right.
You have the flaws right now because
Are
you
you
don't know how to
kidding?
act like an
I have the
adult.
flaws.
You don't know how to act like an adult
Oh,
right
you're
now.
kidding. I give that man $500 because he wanted to live high and mighty.
Oh my God.
This is not your day. It's not about you. No.
There we go. That's what the husband needs to be saying. This is not your day. It's not about you. Like, chill out.
It's not about you.
She's in love with your son.
Okay, let us continue, please.
And
Let us
accept
continue.
it. She's using my son.
Heidi, go and sit down.
Let us continue, please. What have you chosen?
Oh, wow. That is so awkward. I kind of wish we had been able to see the vows just to see whether it was like very clearly a joke, like, or even like a lead up to like a very sweet point, like a necessary, like, oh, you know, you're not always perfect, but like, I love you the way that you are, or whether she was just being really nasty and the type of thing where you're like, you know what, if I'm the mother-in-law, I am standing up and saying something like, I know it's your wedding, but that's my son, and this is emotional abuse you're doing right now. Just because I'm curious where on that scale, just so we can figure out roughly what the vibe actually was. But I'm guessing with literally everyone standing up to the mother-in-law that she was in the wrong. Again though, on your wedding day, if you're the wife, you're not sitting there looking at your husband just being like, that is pathetic from you, and your mum is nuts. Like, do I really want to be going through with this? I really want to marry someone who's not going to stand up for me and marry into a family that's absolutely insane? Surely it's not worth it. All right, next up. Am I the arsehole for flashing my mother-in-law after she told me to not breastfeed my baby in my own house? What the hell? So I recently had a baby and have been breastfeeding her regularly. My mother-in-law came over on short notice whilst I was doing chores around the house. She picked some things from our garden and chatted with me and my husband. She sat down and started watching the news on the TV. This is all already a little bit strange. Like, she's making herself a little bit too comfortable. So I ended up watching TV a bit later too, and I was tired. My baby started getting fussy, so I pulled down my top to start nursing her. My mother-in-law swung her head to me and gave me a look. She huffed and said, "Really? Around me? I'll just get naked too and have it all hanging out, huh?" and rolled her eyes at me. Again, we've got a mother-in-law finding motherly things, normal, natural motherly things, weird, as if they haven't gone through the exact same thing. This isn't the first time she's done something like this, and the last time she made a comment while she was here for the day, I just took my baby into another room. Then my husband bought me a cover, but my baby doesn't like it when I use it. Why is the husband buying her a cover and not saying to his mum that this is fine? Unless the mother uses the cover in public and like herself doesn't want to breastfeed in public without a cover. But if he's sitting there going, the mother of my child breastfeeds at home and my mother feels uncomfortable about it, and so my solution is to get my wife to cover up, something is seriously wrong there. He needs to tell his mum to piss off and stop being so weird. This time I just had enough. I didn't have it all hanging out, and I was doing it pretty discreetly, not even facing her. I was tired and wasn't really thinking, so I just pulled off my top and stood right in front of her and told her, I'll feed my baby when I want in my house. Damn, she got the titties out. Fair play. She just stared at me and I added, if you don't like it, you can leave. I sat back down and she said, I can't believe this girl, and got up and left. My husband was there and afterwards said I didn't have to go that far. Oh my God. What kind of man complains when his wife sticks up for herself? And what kind of man complains when his wife gets her boobs out? This is a double L. He said his mother texted him angrily, but I was just tired from the moment and all I was thinking about was just feeding my baby. Quite rightly here. Am I the arsehole here? Absolutely not. As is so often the case in these videos, it's the spineless husband and the weird freaky mother-in-law. Alright, next. LynBeth86. Oh my goodness, since doing the other two mother-in-law videos, you guys have been sending me this lady's account, and I think I don't know if I've seen this exact one, but I've seen her before. When my son's girlfriend, who has never met me but blocks me on social media, how does she know who I am and why does she give a damn about me? It's teenage dirtbag audio, it's probably copyright claim, so I'm gonna have to swap it for something else. But how does she know who I am and why does she give a damn about me? Probably because the girlfriend's either experienced you being a nutcase or the son has warned her. Stuff like this is a perfect example when I'm listening to my son's girlfriend.
Is it rude to throw a Valium into someone's mouth while they're talking?
The over-filtering and the really bad lip syncing is just insane. It makes it so much freakier. This, meeting my son's girlfriend for the first time.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you finally. I brought you a present. Listen, now that he's out of the room, my son is very important to me. If you hurt him, he's my only son. I will destroy you. I will find you, stalk you, and kill you. Okay? So let's just get this right. You don't call me when you're arguing. You don't call me when he's had a bad day. You make him have a good day. He's my only son. Okay, let me go check the timer for the oven for the dinner. But anyways, I hope you enjoy your present. So nice to meet you.
She's nuts. And I mean, just all of her content is about absolutely hating his son's girlfriend and about loving her son way too much.
You'll be his
like
first
this.
Kiss, his first love, his first friend. You are his mom, and he is your whole world. He's your little boy.
Put that tongue away. Oh, it's so weird. It's literally just all her pages. It's like the entire page is all that. Either she is absolutely nuts or she is a fantastic satirical comedian because she plays the part perfectly. Either way, it freaks me out so much. All right, next up we've got a story time from Grape Cream Juice. Am I the arsehole for refusing to pay for my mother-in-law's deductible after she smashed the gift I gave her? All right, so long story short, I was on Twitter a while ago and saw this ad for a political mug that made me chuckle. So I decided to buy it for my conservative mother-in-law as a gag gift because I love the idea of the mug being gifted to someone who leans more conservative. So last night it was my mother-in-law's birthday and I was getting ready with my wife to go to the restaurant where we would be eating. My wife saw the mug at home before we left as I was packing it into a gift bag and she rolled her eyes saying I was being immature, but she laughed at the mug saying, well, it's kind of funny, I'll give you that. Alright, so kind of potential for conflict, but it sounds like he hasn't misread the tone too much. Well, we eventually got to dinner and the whole family was having a good time. Then, at the end, we all gave our gifts, and when the mother-in-law opened mine, she realised what it was and had this sour look on her face whilst the mug earned a couple of chuckles. My sister-in-law jokingly teased her, asking if she liked it, and she just stood up and excused herself to use the bathroom. As she was about to leave, my sister-in-law said, "It's just a joke, Mum," and my mother-in-law grabbed the mug furiously off the table and slammed it into the ground, shattering the glass. A shard gave her a pretty sizable cut on her ankle. Oh my goodness. Alright, so from the reaction from the table, he definitely hasn't got the tone wrong. Like, this is evidently something everyone's aware at and kind of finds funny themselves. But she has not taken it well. She had to go get stitches for the cut, and my wife said that we should pay for the deductible because she claims I'm the cause of the entire entire incident, but I said no. She got mad at me, telling me that I was being immature. We got in a fight about it, and I said that it's ridiculous that I'm being blamed for her own actions. We ended up paying for it anyway, though. My wife is still kind of angry, and my mother-in-law is still furious and refuses to talk to me, saying that I'm a communist. Edit for context, it was a Fell For It Again award meme mug. I mean, bringing up politics at the family function, especially with someone that isn't actually your direct blood family, like doing it with the in-laws, it is a risky game to play. I mean, it's a meme mug, so the risk shouldn't be that high, but there's just always is a possibility that something like this would happen. I mean, especially given it was the mother-in-law's birthday, maybe she just wasn't in the mindset to have this kind of joke played on her and have everyone laughing at her. But picking the mug up and smashing on the ground is not a reasonably foreseeable action, and also is not proportionate to what happened. Like, the mother-in-law taking it that way is entirely on her, but I do feel like he has some responsibility for instigating it. I feel like as well, given the wife saw the mug, I know she said that it was immature, but that was her chance to be like, this is inappropriate, let's not do that. I feel like she can't be that angry given she knew what he was going to do and let him do it anyway. I actually think overall everyone was a little bit of an asshole here. He shouldn't have instigated it, the mother-in-law overreacted, and the wife probably shouldn't be as mad as she is given she knew what was going to happen. But I don't really feel that strongly about any of this, so I'm curious what you guys think. Who do you think's the arsehole here? Alright, next up, am I the arsehole? I told my mother-in-law that's all on her. Not giving much away with that title. So my 5-year-old son's birthday is coming up and he wants a chocolate cake with chocolate icing. It's his birthday, so I said yes. My mother-in-law can be a selfish cow sometimes, and my son was telling her how he's getting chocolate cake and chocolate ice cream. That's such a funny combined sentence. My mother-in-law said she didn't like that, and my significant other should get something that we all like. My son said, it's not your birthday, so you don't get a say. Fair play, little 5-year-old sticking up for himself. Bro's got more spine than most of the men in this series. This would normally be disrespectful, but I recently said this to my son when he went to his friend's party. My son didn't like the cake flavour, and we had the discussion about how the birthday person gets to choose their cake flavour because it's their special day. My mother-in-law was shocked, and I told her the same thing I told my son. When it's your birthday, you can get whatever flavour of cake you want. Too right. My mother-in-law called me a bitch and my son a spoiled brat. So I told her, with that attitude, you won't be coming to the party. My husband was like, WTF, and tried to talk me into ordering his mum a cake she would enjoy after our son, and I was rude to her. Right, I kind of get what they're trying to say, but how is this incoherent? I said no, it isn't her day, and that just teaches our son to act entitled at other people's parties if we don't stick to the rules and etiquette that we explained to him, and it will just make him confused, entitled, and spoiled. Too right. My husband saw the truth in that because our son was excited about his birthday cake for his birthday, and now understands that not everything is about him. Other people get to enjoy their special event how they want to, and in return, my son gets to enjoy his special event and occasions how he wants to. My mother-in-law doesn't seem to get that and wants my son to write her a sorry note about what he did wrong. Oh, she just feels bad about being called out by a 5-year-old. That dented her ego because she knows deep down he was in the right, and it's embarrassing. My husband and I don't feel like my son did anything wrong by repeating what his parents told him. My mother-in-law said that she's not coming to the birthday party or getting him a gift without the apology note. I told my mother-in-law that's all on her, and that's what the title means. And valid. I mean, how much of a main character do you have to be to want to decide the birthday cake flavour of your 5-year-old grandson? Like, I get kindly requesting that there's, you know, maybe a small cake for her, just being like, oh, if you're going to the shops and there's going to be a lot of cake, I don't like chocolate, maybe could you please get me one? That's fine. But saying that your grandson shouldn't get the cake that he wants because you don't like it is nuts. And when he correctly calls you out on it, being like, fine, I'm not going to come to your birthday and bring you a present, it's the kind of thing you'd expect one of his classmates to say. So this person writing it is not the arsehole. The son is definitely not an arsehole. The mother-in-law is. And again, so is the husband for being quite spineless here. His 5-year-old son is sticking up for himself more than he is. All right, next up we've got a TikTok from Not Stasia Gambino.
Reason number infinity why I hate my mill. After interrupting our vows, she wouldn't shut up or pay attention to cake cutting. I am clearly so annoyed and can't stop being distracted by her blatant obnoxiousness. Look how pissed I am.
I just feel like it just, because you've got one chance at having a wedding most of the time, or a lot of the time, it just is going to piss you off more. Because like at your birthday party or something like that, you can kind of just be like, you know what, I'm over it. But at your wedding, like the one day where like everyone should set everything aside for you, it would just would boil your blood.
The DJ also didn't play the song I picked out.
That's annoying as well.
Did that.
Oh, damn. Can you imagine if that was the mother-in-law? Quite hard to hear how exactly obnoxious she's being with the music being that loud. And again, husband says absolutely nothing.
Well, you just knew that was going to happen.
He's either spineless or oblivious to his wife's feelings. Right, well, I think that's all my stress levels can muster. So if you've made it to the end of this video, congratulations on your impressive stoicism. If you enjoyed this video, if enjoyed is the right word, please feel free to subscribe so you can catch the next episode. And thanks for watching. Bye.